Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this forum for candidates running for mayor, represent the cities in DeKalb County. There are mayoral elections happening in the city of Tucker, Clarkston, and Stone Mountain. All the candidates were invited tonight to this forum. The general election is November 4th, and these candidates will appear on the ballot. My name is Hillary Lind. I am the Special Events Chair for DeKalb Dems, and on behalf of our organization, I welcome all of you to this important event tonight. Tonight, we will hear from candidates on where they stand on public safety, economic development, housing, infrastructure, and more. We have lots of great questions that our team has prepared, and we hope to have enough time to take on some additional questions from the audience. We are live streaming on multiple platforms, and recording this forum will be available on YouTube. The DeKalb County Democratic Party Committee relies on donations and volunteers to present truthful information to the citizens of DeKalb County. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Brandy Weiss, Chair of the DeKalb County Democratic Committee. Madam Chair, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you so much, Hillary, and thank you to everyone for being here tonight. I do want to start off by thanking all of our candidates for being here to participate with us. And thank you also to Hillary, the Special Events Committee, as well as all of our tech committee who is here to support us in making this happen. DeKalb Dems is a fully volunteer effort, so we appreciate everyone and their time for making it here tonight. I do want to emphasize before we get started, the reason that we are having this series of municipal election forums, and that is because municipal elections are extremely important to all of us. And it is so important that we are thoughtful about who we elect at every level of government. Our elected officials at the municipal level, we want to ensure that they are thoughtful about the legislation that they are passing, as well as making sure that from our perspective that we are thinking about this from a democratic or progressive perspective as well, ensuring that those that we are looking to elect are also thinking about our values around community safety, supporting those in need, economic development, housing, and more, as Hillary just spoke about. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. These are so important to better understand who is running for your local officials. I now want to turn to our moderator for this evening. I am very excited to introduce, not for the first time, you have seen Robin Bureau here other times as well. So thank you, Robin, for being back. He is going to be our moderator for this evening. Robin is a Democratic strategist and LGBT rights activist who has worked as a regional director on Barack Obama's 2008 presidential campaign and was also a Hillary Clinton delegate at the 2016 National Convention. He is a former Georgia State Senate and Tucker mayoral candidate, and he is also a U.S. Army Airborne Ranger veteran who has served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. Robin, thank you so much for your service and all that you have done here in DeKalb as well as across our nation. And we are so grateful to have you. Thank you for being here to moderate our panel this evening. Now I'm going to pass it over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And I really want to thank you for inviting me. It's always an honor and a privilege to do this. I do live TV every day as a TV pundit, and I always say that the most important thing that you can do is get involved at the municipal level because it affects your life so directly. So I just really appreciate everybody for entering into this race and for being here tonight. It means a lot. With that being said, I'm going to read from this script. I'm going to talk about the purpose and structure of being mayor. The mayor serves as the chief executive officer of a city, responsible for the day-to-day administration and operation of city government. They preside over city council meetings, represent the city at official functions, and work with council members to develop and implement policies on a city budget. The mayor's leadership is critical in shaping the future of their city, from ensuring public safety and fostering economic growth to maintaining infrastructure and ensuring a high quality of life for all residents. Tonight, candidates from Tucker, Clarkston, and Stone Mountain are with us. Before we begin, let's review some ground rules that each candidate agreed upon in advance. Number 1, each candidate will have 90 seconds to make an opening statement. Number 2, each candidate will have 90 seconds to answer prepared questions and follow-up questions. Number 3, each candidate will have 60 seconds to answer audience questions. Number 4, Each candidate will have 90 seconds to make a closing statement. And lastly, this is very important, please pay attention. Do not call out other candidates by name. Focus on issues and policies. Now, before we begin asking questions, we want to give each candidate the opportunity to introduce themselves to you. We will do this in alphabetical order, starting with the candidates for Clarkston. Mr. Bright in 90s, was Mr. Bright here or is he still unavailable?
He's unavailable.
Okay, let's pass this on then. Beverly Burns. Burks, excuse me. Give me one moment. We had a slight change.
They're going to come to Tucker next.
Would you like me to go ahead?
Just one moment. In 90 seconds, please make your opening statement. Tell us what makes you uniquely qualified for this position.
Thank you, and good evening, DeKalb Dems and the public. I am Mayor Beverly H. Burks, and I'm proud to serve as the international mayor of the city of Clarkston, the most diverse city per square mile in America. Over the last 4 years, I've delivered results that matter, securing over $2 million in federal and state grants, along with the $4 million in ARPA funding and SPLOST dollars to make our streets safer, support small businesses, expand affordable housing options, and improve our quality of life. From launching Clarkston's first housing summit to completing major infrastructure projects and to designing our award-winning Greenway trails, I've worked to make sure every resident, no matter their income, language, or background, has a voice in our city. Tonight, I look forward to sharing my vision for a Clarkston that grows smart, stays affordable, and continues to lead as a model of inclusion.
He's already elected.
Thank you. Production note, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Next, we have invited Beverly Jones of Stone Mountain to be here. I don't believe she's here tonight. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Then we'll be moving on to Jelani Linder. In 90 seconds, please make your opening statement telling us what makes you uniquely qualified for this position.
Good evening. I'm Jelani Linder, and I've proudly called Stone Mountain home for nearly 20 years. I'm a husband, small business owner, and an urban planner by training. I've had the honor of serving our community as chair of our Downtown Development Authority and as a member of our Planning Commission. I'm running for mayor because I believe our city deserves strong, stable, and transparent leadership. Leadership that restores trust in City Hall, unites our community around a shared vision, and builds an economy that works for everyone, not just on the backs of homeowners. My vision is simple: a city of Stone Mountain where we define who we are, where we're going, and how do we get there. And that's together. A vision that's rooted in community and a future we can build together.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we've got Ann Lerner. In 90 seconds, please make your opening statement telling us what makes you uniquely qualified for this position.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you, and I'm grateful for the DeKalb Dems for hosting this forum. Tucker has been my home, and its people have been my priority for 28 years. That was long before we were an official city. I'm proud of a community resume that includes Stone Mountain Middle School Teacher of the Year, DeKalb County Community Council, Planning Commission, and Leadership DeKalb Board Member. I've held leadership positions with Tucker volunteer organizations that laid the groundwork for cityhood. I was grateful to play a key role in the Tucker Cityhood Initiative, which was about keeping our community together. Always remember that. And I served 2 terms on Tucker City Council and also had the role of Mayor Pro Tem. What makes me uniquely qualified for this role is not just my experience and the relationships I've built across this region, but a proven record of results. My record shows that I will continue to do as mayor, expand housing options, revitalize commercial corridors, and enhance our parks. I believe in collaboration, common sense solutions, and leadership that's focused on people, community driven. And that's why I'm ready to serve day one as Tucker's next mayor.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Noelle Monfordini. In 90 seconds, please make your opening statement telling us what makes you uniquely qualified for this position.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you, DeKalb Democrats, for putting this together for us. It's appreciated. I'm running to ensure that the city of Tucker's future is shaped by you, by the community, through the community. I have served on the city council for 8 years. I have a Six Sigma black belt, so operational excellence is always at the top of the chain. It's important that local government serves its community, and I believe in that service. I believe that as a mayor, that our greatest strength is in its people. When we work together in respect and openness, when we build a city that is not just functional but connected, we're vibrant and we're resilient. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lastly, we've got Beverly Williams. In 90 seconds, please make your opening statement telling us what makes you uniquely qualified for this position.
You're muted.
You will need to unmute yourself, Ms. Williams.
I've been a resident of Tucker and DeKalb County for 30 years. I'm also a veteran. I've also lived here and my kids was born here. I've been married 45 years. I'm currently retired. I have the time. My husband and I both wanted me to run because I have the time and the fortitude to review and to take care of the citizens of Tucker. My primary focus is to listen to the residents. I've attended just about every meeting from 2016 to current. So 85% of the time I have been in the Tucker public meetings. I have voiced my concerns. I am a resident. My first priority is listen to the residents first and the business owners. Second, I like to have open dialogue at town hall meetings, as well as dialogue within the community. I want to protect our neighborhood and support single family homes and have a home balance development and apartment. I want to invest into my youth. I need programs and I need to find a community and a facility.
Thank you. Thank you, candidates, for respecting our time limitations. And now let's get right into the questions. Again, please limit your responses to each question to 90 seconds. First, we're moving into economic development and housing. The first question I have for you is, as communities grow, so do concerns about the rising costs of living and the availability of affordable housing. What specific policies would you champion to ensure that your city remains an accessible place to live for residents of all income levels, while also encouraging smart economic growth? We will start with Ms. Lerner.
All right. Well, first, we need to ensure that people can truly live their whole lives in Tucker, from starter homes for young families, downsizing options for empty nesters, and age-friendly housing for seniors. They cannot be priced out. As mayor and working with council, I'm committed to developing a holistic housing strategy that's rooted in Tucker's comprehensive plan, based on findings from our city housing studies. And we recently had a ULI Atlanta Technical Assistance Panel make recommendations, things like missing middle housing at neighborhood scale. And we can't forget preserving the naturally occurring affordable options that currently exist, but we've also got to make sure that they're safe. I'm going to push for partnerships with nonprofits and developers to include affordable units with AMI that matches our community, not the greater Atlanta AMI that includes places like Sandy Springs, Buckhead, and Alpharetta. I'll also encourage smart economic growth. We're going to collaborate with Georgia Economic Development Association, the state, our chambers, and our CIDs to ensure that Tucker truly understands its competitive advantage in the region. We've got to maximize our opportunities to attract that quality business, the investment in our downtown, the commercial corridors. That's going to help diversify and expand our tax base. That's going to support those city services without pushing people out and overtaxing them. My goal is going to be a balanced approach. We've got to keep Tucker affordable. We've got to keep it welcoming and vibrant, while also building that strong economy for the long term so our residents are not displaced. Let's build a welcoming community for all, and let's have them stay here.
Thank you. Moving on, Ms. Monfordini, what specific policies would you champion to ensure that your city remains an accessible place to live for residents of all income levels while also encouraging smart economic growth?
Thanks, Robin. I would also work with City Council to update our zoning code for a wider range of housing types, not just townhomes, but accessory dwelling units and small scale infill. So residents at different income levels and stages of life have some real options because right now they really don't. They can age in place. A lot of our senior living facilities are over full. So that's something that we want to look at. Currently, we have a larger development happening in downtown Tucker, the Exchange. And I think they have about 15% of their units priced out for teachers, first responders, and working families so they can afford to live in Tucker. The other thing I would like to do is promote mixed use near transportation corridors. So that way we have the right density in the right places.
Thank you so much. Moving on. Ms. Williams, what specific policies would you champion to ensure that your city remains an accessible place to live for residents of all income levels while also encouraging smart economic growth?
Tucker is a growing and vibrant city, but we need more affordable housing in the future. Currently, Tucker does not have a dedicated affordable housing policy beyond the general goals of the comprehension plan. I will work with DeKalb County CEO, Ms. Johnson. I will explore the different programs that she's put in place currently. I will also work with the HUB of Housing Justice. They are the experts, and the guidance will guide me through affordable housing. We need a real solution, not just promises.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Moving on, Ms. Burks, what specific policies would you champion to ensure that your city remains an accessible place to live for residents of all income levels while also encouraging smart economic growth?
Thank you. And as mayor of the city of Clarkston, housing affordability has been one of my top priorities. I've worked with the DeKalb Housing Authority to secure over the next 15 years $1.3 million for Clarkston's Housing Trust Fund for low and moderate income residents. Additionally, we've convened our first housing summit and pop-up summits with the Atlanta Regional Commission, and we've made reform zoning changes to allow duplexes, triplexes, quadruplexes, and accessory dwellings. Clarkston recently received $304,000 in a national grant from the ICMA and the Gates Foundation to hire an economic specialist and to create strategies for our residents and businesses. We were also awarded from the African American Mayors Association an Economic Mobility Leadership Institute grant to provide home buying education for our families. My vision is very clear. Pair smart growth with affordability so Clarkston remains a place where families of all incomes can thrive.
Thank you, Ms. Burks. Moving on, Mr. Linder, what specific policies would you champion to ensure that your city remains an accessible place to live for residents of all income levels while also encouraging smart economic growth?
Yes. As mayor, I believe we have to balance growth with affordability. That starts by updating our zoning so that the city of Stone Mountain can allow for more diversity in housing. When we do that, we give people the opportunity to call our city home at every stage in life. We also need to allow for smart growth so that the city can add density in the right places while still protecting the character and charm of our community. Beyond growth and zoning, we also have a responsibility to our seniors. When we can ease the burden of them by strengthening our property tax exemptions, which will help them offset the rising cost of living. Finally, I believe the city of Stone Mountain should partner with nonprofits and other organizations that focuses on providing affordable housing. By building these partnerships, we can create real sustainable solutions that keeps the city welcoming and affordable for families of all income levels. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lindler. We have one more question on economic development and housing. Question 2. Small businesses are the backbone of our local economies. What tangible steps will you take as mayor to support existing small businesses and attract new ones, particularly to revitalize downtown and commercial areas? We will start with Ms. Lerner.
All right. Well, small businesses are the heartbeat of Tucker. And as you know, my sister is your veterinarian. She's a small business owner in Tucker, Dr. Kathleen Tucker at Tucker Animal Hospital. So I hate to use that term of a small business because I understand the issues are real and they can be big that our small business owners face. First, I'll continue to strengthen our partnerships with the Tucker North Lake Community Improvement District, the Tucker Summit Community Improvement District, and the Tucker Business Association. They hear what's really going on. They're listening to the concerns of the business community, and I want to make sure that we have a welcoming place for them to share those. Second, I'm going to focus on making it easier to do business in Tucker. We've got to foster a culture of exceptional customer service, proactive thinking, responsiveness, and problem solving in all that we do. Let's bring business owners to the front end to look at the streamlining of permitting, improving communication between City Hall and business owners, and creating clear, predictable processes. Entrepreneurs need to spend more time growing their business and less time navigating that red tape. In fact, I pushed for Tucker to hire its first own fire marshal because the county process was slowing us down, slowing down small businesses and entrepreneurs, and folks were actually leaving because time is money. Third, I'll push for targeted development of underused commercial properties, transforming aging shopping centers into mixed-use hubs to combine housing, retail, and green space. That's going to attract new business, but also drive foot traffic to support the ones we already have.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Ms. Monfordini, what tangible steps will you take as mayor to support existing small businesses and attract new ones, particularly to revitalize downtown and commercial areas?
Thank you. As a business owner of 16 years in Tucker, well, actually 2, I guess it'd be 20 now. I've seen some of the challenges and I've heard some of the challenges from the community and some of our business owners. We still need to keep up with our facades down in the downtown area. So I'd like to make sure that we keep doing the facade grants to support and promote the city's facade program. A business concierge service would be really fantastic. We have a signature that we have to have done every single year that we have to have notarized. And I know that the city is open to have that done there for free, but it would be nice to be able to have a concierge service that is through a special time period. The other thing I would like to adjust is the occupational tax due date. So Schedule Cs are usually in March, and then everybody else hits the April 15th for our small businesses and home-based businesses. So if we could extend that date out a week or so, I think that would help everybody a lot. Because when they're looking at the bill, when it comes over in January, there's some real concern across your face because you don't have all of your documents until February. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. Ms. Williams, what tangible steps will you take as mayor to support existing small businesses and attract new ones, particularly to revitalize downtown and commercial areas?
Thank you, Robin. Support of local small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of Tucker. I will review every small businesses within the city limits and meet with the residents as well as the business owners to gather input on what types of businesses we need of. So number one, I need more restaurants and family-friendly attractions, especially for our young youth. Number two, and we must provide support for our businesses already serving our community. It's imperative that we look at the business owners in Main Street because they are the backbone. I have taken the time to talk to each of the business owners recently to find out what the issues and the concerns are, and they have let me know. And so on that platform, it is imperative that I take the time to take care of the residents as well as the business owners, because some of your business owners are residents and they work outside of their home. And I also need their input as well. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Burks, what tangible steps will you take as mayor to support existing small businesses and attract new ones, particularly to revitalize downtown and commercial areas?
Thank you, Robin. And as the mayor of Clarkston, small businesses are Clarkston's heartbeat. As a city, we've allocated portions of our opera funding that we had to provide business grants. And we partnered with Decide DeKalb and the Better Business Bureau to connect small business owners with resources. We know how difficult it is to be a small business owner, and so we wanted to make sure we provided those resources to our businesses. Additionally, as the member of the Downtown Development Authority, we are working with Georgia Tech to create our strategic vision for our downtown corridor. And to revitalize our downtown area, I'm continuing to invest in placemaking and cultural experiences that bring people into our shops and restaurants. Clarkston must remain a place where entrepreneurs want to grow and stay. And the other piece is last night, the council also increased our budget to allow permitting software to make it easier for our businesses to utilize city services. And that's what we'll continue to do if I'm reelected as mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burks. Mr. Linder, what tangible steps will you take as mayor to support existing small businesses and attract new ones, particularly to revitalize downtown and commercial areas?
Yes, small businesses are the backbone of our economy. The city of Stone Mountain sits next to the largest tourist attraction in Georgia and the second in the Southeast. We should be taking full advantage of that and leaning into tourism. My vision is for downtown to become a tourism district built around food, culture, arts, entertainment, and history. Cities like Savannah, New Orleans, and Helen have shown how powerful this approach can be, and there's no reason why we can't get there as well. By creating our brand and making downtown Stone Mountain a destination, we can strengthen our business district, support our existing businesses, and attract new ones in a way that will grow our economy responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lindler. Congratulations, you've made it through your first round of questions. We are now moving on to public safety. Public safety is a top concern for residents. What is your plan to ensure the police department is adequately staffed, well-trained, and maintains a strong, positive relationship with the diverse communities it serves? We will start with Ms. Lerner.
All right. All right. So public safety is the foundation for everything else we wanted to achieve. We can't do anything else that we've already talked about tonight. I'm going to work to make sure that every community in Tucker feels safe, supported, and secure. I'm the daughter of a police officer. I was my neighborhood watch chair for over a decade, and I've worked closely with the DeKalb County Police Department to address our safety concerns before we were a city. And remember, DeKalb County is our police department. So the first thing, enhanced staffing and training. I'm going to collaborate with CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson, interim police chief Greg Padrick, who used to be our major at Tucker Precinct. We've got to ensure adequate staffing levels at our Tucker Precinct and make sure our officers have comprehensive training with community engagement, de-escalation, and cultural competency. We've got to have a community-oriented policing. We got to foster stronger relationships between law enforcement and the residents. We have coffee with a cop and many other opportunities, but we've got to get into that neighborhood, into the neighborhoods with intentional gatherings and collaborative problem-solving initiatives, meeting the residents where they live. And again, looking at those strategic partnerships of our business community. Our crime has become an economic development issue. It's hurting our small business owners. It's making it difficult for them to retain and attract not only businesses, but employees as well. By leveraging my experience and commitment to community engagement, we're going to create a safe environment where every resident and business owner, employee, and customer feels secured and valued.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lerner. Next up, Ms. Monfordini. What is your plan to ensure the police department is adequately staffed, well-trained, and maintains a strong, positive relationship with the diverse communities it serves?
Thank you. First, I'll advocate for adequate staffing levels at our Tucker precinct so that response times stay stronger and officers aren't stretched too thin. Right now, they hit some of our areas outside of our borders, so I would like to shrink that in if possible. I'll push for continued investment in training, especially around de-escalation and community engagement. I think they do a really good job with their outreach, but we can do better. I think there's still a lot of portions of the community that still need that touch. Third, I will work directly with community leaders to build relationships with law enforcement and diverse neighborhoods throughout town halls, ride-alongs, which I think is a fun thing to do when you're a kid anyway, and programs that bring officers and residents together outside of crisis situations, because you really want to know that they're there for you to help you and not have that fear. And as you know, DeKalb is our police force. So if we can't meet those needs long term, I would support a referendum to let the DeKalb or let the Tucker residents decide whether we should have our own police force or not.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini.
Thank you.
Moving on, Ms. Williams, what is your plan to ensure the police department is adequately staffed, well-trained, and maintains a strong, positive relationship with the diverse community that it serves?
I've been waiting for this question. Thank you, Robin. Tucker does not have a police force, but we contract with DeKalb County, specifically North Precinct. I appreciate the community outreach that the police department and North Precinct gives us. They have a morning coffee chat with us, and they have in the evening, they talk to the residents to give us a status update, how things are going. Crime prevention starts with the community investment. Crime often stems from deep issues, homelessness, lack of resources for young adults, and mental health needs. We must build a partnership between police officers, veteran services, department health professionals, clergy, and community leaders. Together, we can build a stronger and a safer Tucker. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Burks, what is your plan to ensure the police department is adequately staffed, well-trained, and maintains a strong, positive relationship with the diverse community that it serves?
Well, public safety requires resources, staffing, and trust. And under my leadership, Clarkston secured a $438,000 federal security grant to strengthen our department. We've increased compensation, and we've invested in training for de-escalation, mental health response, and cultural competency. We've hired officers who reflect our diverse community. And I'm working with our city manager as well as our chief to develop a 3 to 5 year public safety plan to guide our staffing and training. My commitment is to ensure Clarkston has a police department that is fully staffed, well-trained, and deeply connected to the people it serves.
Thank you, Ms. Burks. Mr. Linder, what is your plan to ensure the police department is adequately staffed, well-trained, and maintains a strong, positive relationship with the diverse community that it serves?
Public safety has to be one of our top priorities because without it, we can't grow our economy or build a strong community. To make that happen, the mayor, council, and police leadership need to be on the same page. I will establish joint planning sessions with the police chief and our council so that we are aligned on the vision and priorities. We need to make sure our officers have the tools, training, and resources they need. And we need to keep politics out of policing so their focus stays where it belongs, on protecting the city of Stone Mountain and building trust within the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. Second question. Beyond policing, what community-based initiatives or services would you support to address the root causes of crime and improve the overall safety and well-being of your city's neighborhoods? We will start with Ms. Lerner.
You know, policing is extremely important, like we've all said, but we also know that strong communities are the best way to prevent crime and ensure neighborhoods feel safe. As a former teacher, I know it's important to expand our programs for our youth engagement and mentorship. We've got to have partnerships with our schools, our nonprofits, and our faith-based organizations. We got to keep kids connected and supported and off the streets, and early engagement in their education and recreation, and providing job skills help reduce that long-term risk. We also need to look at affordable housing, economic opportunity, and neighborhood revitalization strategies. They're also critical. We're going to work to redevelop underused commercial properties, attract good jobs so people can work in our community, and ensure safe, affordable housing options. Economic stability is one of the strongest predictors of a safe community. Finally, having been a neighborhood watch chair, we're going to foster resident-led neighborhood watch programs. They kind of fizzled during COVID, and we really need to bring that engagement back. And we've got to have more civic engagement initiatives so people have a voice in shaping their own community safety. And our police help provide that, but our community drives it.
Thank you, Ms. Lerner. I have been asked to change the order of the people that are being asked, so we're going to mix this up a little bit. We will now go with Ms. Burks. Ms. Burks, beyond policing, what community-based initiatives or services would you support to address the root causes of crime and improve the overall safety and well-being of your city's neighborhoods?
Thank you very much. And I am currently the mayor, so I'm Mayor Burks right now. Safety isn't just about policing, it's also about opportunity. And what we're also doing right now is we're using geo-tracking and zoning of our officers to identify hot spots of crime and do continuous improvements. We've hired our first parks director and launched youth programs like basketball, swimming, soccer, and along with the council, I've supported workforce development programs, food security efforts, and family supportive programs. True safety starts with stability of housing, engaged youth, and strong community connections, and we will prevent crime not just with patrol cars, but by building opportunities from the ground up.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. Ms. Monfordini, beyond policing, what community-based initiatives or services would you support to address the root causes of crime and improve the overall safety and well-being of your city's neighborhoods?
There are a lot of great answers in this room, I have to say that. I would like to make sure that we expand some of our recreation activities, especially for high school students, because right now they have team sports at school, and if you don't fit in, well, then you're fitting out. And when you're fitting out, you find fun things to do that sometimes are petty crime, right? So keep our kids busy, keep them involved, and get them civically engaged when they're younger. It's amazing what a team can do for someone. Beyond that, I think we've had some crime down on our main street recently. I would like to make sure that we're supporting our businesses down there with shatterproof glass and other items, so that way the petty crimes that come through obviously stop, because it's a lot harder to access these businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. Ms. Williams, beyond policing, what community-based initiatives or services would you support to address the root causes of crime and improve the overall safety and well-being of your city's neighborhoods? Ms. Williams, I believe you're muted.
First of all, I want to say I would lean into by listening to you and try to get the job done. Together, we need to have youth and family centers. We need to propose building a community facility where the youth and families can strive. That includes aftercare, that includes dance classes, game room, gymnastics with a basketball, pickleball, karate. If we have these types of programs, I think we can cut down on some of our crime. But one of the things that I do want to do is, since we don't have a police force, I will request, can I have assigned police officers inside of Tucker so the residents will know the regular officers that was coming in and they're permanent to us, and see if we can allocate that type of situation so the community, the students will know who are the officers within our community. And I think that will help us more so than anything else. And that will give us a camaraderie with the residents, the students, and the business owners. Residents and local businesses will help guide the projects. that we want to put forth. It's time to invest in our young youth and give them a safe, enriching space to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Mr. Linder, beyond policing, what community-based initiatives or services would you support to address the root causes of crime and improve the overall safety and well-being of your city's neighborhoods?
Yes. Safety is not just about policing. It's about community pride and connections. When people are proud of where they live, their neighborhoods are cleaner, safer, and stronger. That's why I want to expand our ambassador program and continue building events that bring our neighbors together. The city of Stone Mountain should also consider hiring a Parks and Rec director who can program our parks with organized sports and activities for both our youth and our active adults. Another way to build a sense of place is by making better physical connections, linking our parks, trails, and sidewalks so people feel more engaged and invested in the city of Stone Mountain. By creating a sense of place and pride, we can reduce crime as it roots and make our community a lot stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. That concludes that round of questions. We are now moving on to infrastructure and quality of life. I am going to start with Ms. Williams this time. Ms. Williams, from Parks and, excuse me, back up. Ms. Williams, traffic congestion and infrastructure are persistent challenges in our region. What is your vision for improving transportation and walkability within your city, and how would you fund these projects?
Well, traffic solutions. We must address the traffic issues within a smart and practical solution. We do need some roundabouts if we can have that in our area. Only for the areas that are congested, we can think about doing roundabouts. Number two, we need to look at these the linear posts to manage the flow, especially near North Lake and Lawrenceville Highway. How do we fund the structures? We aggressively pursue funding through Georgia Department of Transportation, federal formula and comprehensive grants, build programs, better utilizing investment to levy development. We need to also do transportation and infrastructure finance and innovation programs, which is based on the federal government. Before allowing more apartments or townhomes or development, we need to upgrade roads and infrastructure to support our growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Monfordini, traffic congestion and infrastructure are persistent challenges in our region. What is your vision for improving transportation and walkability within your city, and how would you fund these projects?
Thank you. So first I would like to start with walkability. I think we need complete streets. We need a safety barrier from the traffic, from the people, and to be able to make those streets bikeable, or not the streets, the path bikeable. Second, smart signals. I mean, we have all of the infrastructure now. We just need to have the programming so we can improve traffic lighting and timing and the coordination for it. It would reduce backups at key intersections. I've sat at lights before where it changes in like 4 cars and there's 20 behind you. How we would fund those, I think I'd work with GDOT. We can work with some of our SPLOST funding. And if we started using impact fees in the city of Tucker, we could use some of those for our local improvements. The vision is really tackle traffic by making our roads safer and giving residents real options. Drive when you need to, walk or bike when you want to. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. Ms. Lerner, traffic congestion and infrastructure are persistent challenges in our region. What is your vision for improving transportation and walkability within your city, and how would you fund these projects?
My vision is Tucker residents and business owners' vision, because we've heard from them in all of our plans and studies. They want safer streets, traffic flowing more efficiently, walking, biking, and real transit viable options. As you know, my husband is visually impaired and he walks all over Tucker. So walkability and transit are always top of mind. We've got to make sure first that community input guides our prioritization, because we can't do everything. So what must we do? We also need to prioritize smart data-driven improvements, whether it's upgrading our roads, our sidewalks, crosswalks, and high pedestrian activity areas. You know, nobody talked about drainage and stormwater yet. Those are real issues that we're all looking at. Bottlenecks in our main corridor, and of course, walkability and bikeability. We're building those trails in the commercial areas and connecting them to schools and the parks. I would also ask for projected maintenance budget for any of our new infrastructure projects. Maintenance is not sexy, but we all feel the neglect that happens eventually. Funding these projects is a top discussion item. I just attended an infrastructure funding conference with the Council for Quality Growth. Mayor Burks was a speaker. Hundreds of folks are there asking the same question. Federal dollars are not there like they were before, and they're being allocated differently. We're going to have to leverage partnerships at the federal, state, regional, and private level differently than before. We're going to have to be at the table early, show the value of our projects and the long-term impact to stretch those tax dollars further.
Thank you, Ms. Lerner. Mr. Linder, traffic congestion and infrastructure are persistent challenges in our region. What is your vision for improving transportation and walkability within your city, and how would you fund these projects?
I think I lost you for a moment. Okay, we're there? Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to repeat
All
the
right.
question?
I know the question. Thank
Okay.
you.
Mhm.
So downtown Stone Mountain is already very walkable, but that walkability needs to extend also into our neighborhoods. Right now, the city of Stone Mountain is completing an LCI study that focuses on connecting trails, sidewalks, parks, and our downtown. This study needs to be expanded to include the neighborhoods in our city that surround our downtown. We can fund this kind of investment in three ways. One, through our growing tourism economy, which can provide additional revenue for capital improvements. Two, through splash dollars, which can be directed towards these projects. Three, through partnerships with organizations like the PATH Foundation, which can help us stretch our resources. Most of the traffic headed into Stone Mountain Park goes through the city of Stone Mountain. That adds an added strain and burden on our city roads and infrastructures. That's why I think we should be able to get funding from the state because they're using our roads and infrastructure. One of our council members, Mark Marianos, raised this idea in a previous council meeting, and I think this needs to get put back on the agenda. By bringing these resources together, we can create a connected and walkable city, one that not only works for our residents, but also for the visitors who support our local economy and visit the city of Stone Mountain. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. I'd noticed that Mayor Jones from Stone Mountain has arrived to the conversation. Mayor Jones, are you prepared to answer this question? I just want to make sure I don't leave anyone out. Mayor Jones, if you are there, let me know if you are prepared to answer this question, or otherwise I'll move on. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Mayor Burks. Mayor Burks, traffic congestion and infrastructure are persistent challenges in our region. What is your vision for improving transportation and walkability within your city, and how would you fund these projects?
Thank you. Clarkston is a leader in walkable infrastructure. We've paved most of our city streets, expanded sidewalks, and built pocket parks through SPLOS and state grants. And I'm very excited about our 4-time award-winning Greenway Trail project, which has earned those regional and state awards. Additionally, as the city of Clarkston, we've received $1 million in the Safe Streets for All grant to improve pedestrian and cyclist safety. We also have $2 million in federal funds advancing through Congress for future projects. My vision is to keep Clarkston a model of safe, green, and connected transportation funded by the same federal, state, and regional partnerships, and I've already delivered.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. Before I move on to the next question, I want to ask one more time if Mayor Jones would like to answer this question. If not, we'll move on to the next question. All right, moving on. From parks and green spaces to community events, a mayor plans a key role in shaping a city's identity and quality of life. What is one new program or project that you would introduce to enhance community engagement and civic pride? We will start with Miss Monfordini.
Thank you. I really had to think about this one a lot. We do a lot of fun things in Tucker. I think we should do a pitch night downtown where the community gets to think of, we give them a small budget of what they want to do with that, kind of like a Shark Tank for Tucker. So you can have kids come up and tell you what they want. Maybe it's a playground or some special swing or something that they want, or community, other community members come in to do that. We could call it Community Canvas, and we'd have just kind of like a whole meeting and a bunch of fun downtown in one of our green spaces like we always do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. Ms. Williams, from parks and green spaces to community events, a mayor plays a key role in shaping of a city's identity and quality of life. What is one new program and project you would introduce to enhance community engagement and civic pride?
Well, Tucker is blessed and has beautiful parks and natural green spaces. I would like to build a legacy from that. I like small parks within our neighborhood. So we have a lot of green space, and we can take some of that green space within our neighborhood and we can do pocket parks. I'm a walker, so I walk through Tucker, Lawrenceville, and it's a little rough. The roads are rough, the sidewalks are rough, and we do need to do some integration. I propose partnering with Friends of Tucker Parks to create small neighborhood-based parks while families are gathering together and the kids play safely. Community events. We will continue to host concerts, sports, games, and community events within our parks to keep active and engaging. Youth centers. I propose a new facility would also serve as a hub for recreation, learning, and connectivity. This is about building a better future for the families of Tucker. I also want you to know that I will listen and I will lean into all our conversations when it comes to Tucker. Tucker residents, you will always have a voice with me as well as the business owners. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Lerner, what is one new program or project you would introduce to enhance community engagement and civic pride?
This was a tough one. I agree. You know, we've got great parks, green spaces, community events at the heart of Tucker. Come to our concert Friday night, last concert of the summer. I'd like to explore launching something called Tucker Together. That would be a year-round program designed with all these fun activities, bring residents, families, and our businesses together, even some pop-up markets like what was discussed, and go into neighborhoods, help host and fund some specific neighborhood events. They're going to strengthen bonds across every corner of Tucker. But at the heart of this, I'd like to do a Tucker Youth Commission. You know, I'm a former teacher. I still mentor some of my students, and some of them have grown up and are raising their families in Tucker. I want to give students a real voice in our city government and the understanding of how it operates. I was the one who started our Tucker 101 University of Government Affairs when we first became a city, and I think we need to now extend that to our youth. They could help plan these community events. They could lead volunteer projects. They could provide impact and, you know, into their neighborhoods by suggesting programs for support. We've really got to empower our young people because who are our future civic leaders? And we've got to encourage their engagement. I think all of this will help bring attention to all of our parks. Sometimes we just concentrate on one or two, but I think if we can bring it into the neighborhoods, like what's been said before, people are going to celebrate the community of Tucker and feel proud and invested in the place that they call home.
Thank you, Ms. Lerner. Mayor Burks, what is one new program or project you would introduce to enhance community engagement and civic pride?
I think I'm challenged like everyone else on here. Quality of life is not just one thing. You know, as the Green Mayor, that's one of the most important things in terms of connectivity with our trails and our parks, and promoting a pedestrian-friendly community. But one of my sweet spots that I have is my Mayor's Tots Town Hall, where we talk about pride early with our preschoolers who hear stories in multiple languages and they learn about civic engagement. And I also invite everyone to come to Clarkston so that you can experience our public art murals that reflect our culture and diversity. Looking ahead, I want to make sure that we expand cultural festivals. I'm looking at doing an international rice festival, so make sure you come next year for that. And in making sure that we have experiences that strengthen civic pride and showcase Clarkston as the most diverse city per square mile in America.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. Mayor Jones, I see that your hand is raised. Would you like to answer this question?
Yes, I would.
Let me restate the question for you then. What is one new program or project you would introduce to enhance community engagement and civic pride?
Well, one of the things that I would like to enhance community engagement and community pride is more fireside chats with the mayor, whereas people can get an opportunity to meet the mayor and we get an opportunity to meet the citizens one-on-one and find out what their needs are and not just try to engage in what we want them to have, but get into the communities, meet the people. Also, we would like to bring more citizens to our downtown area, and so have more downtown activities for the citizens. And lastly, the seniors. In the last year, we've had several programs, mental health, bereavement, and they said that they would like to continue to have those programs periodically to help them through their walk in life.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. Mr. Linder, what is one new program or project that you would introduce to enhance community engagement and civic pride?
Yep. Community pride comes from traditions that bring people together and show the world what makes us special. Stone Mountain Village's Mardi Gras Parade is one of our greatest opportunities to show our community spirit. Right now, our Mardi Gras Parade brings in about 5,000 visitors each year and is already one of the city's largest events. But I believe we can do even more. We can expand our Mardi Gras into a Mardi Gras week or even a Mardi Gras month, similar to Mobile and New Orleans and what they have built. By doing that, we can give people in our region a chance to celebrate without having to travel far. And at the same time, we can build a unique identity and a brand for Stone Mountain. Expanding our Mardi Gras wouldn't just be about fun. It'll be about stimulating our economy, building community pride, and help to establish downtown Stone Mountain as a destination in the state of Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. That concludes that topic of questions. We are moving on now to city-specific issues. First, we're going to start with the Clarkston candidates for mayor of Clarkston. Annexation and city growth have been ongoing topics of discussion for Clarkston's leadership. The city's official strategic plan explicitly lists evaluating and pursuing strategic annexation as a policy goal, and in recent years, there have been broader discussions about potentially annexing nearby commercial properties. The question, as mayor, do you support actively pursuing the annexation of new territory consistent with the city's strategic plan? If so, what are the key financial, service-related, and community impact criteria you would use to determine which areas would be the right fit for the future of Clarkston? Mayor Burks, I'll let you answer this.
Thank you so much. Annexation must be a strategic portion of how we do it and community driven. And since 2015, Clarkston has successfully completed 3 annexations. And our strategic plan calls for evaluating future opportunities. And as mayor, I believe annexation must meet 3 tests. Now, does it expand our tax base to sustain services, that balance of service delivery? Does it align with Clarkston's diversity and character? And does it add long-term value for current and future residents. Any annexation must also include robust community engagement with materials in multiple languages and full transparency. Making sure we actually put out to do a RFP for annexation. So we're looking at a study right now to see what makes sense for our community. So annexation must move Clarkston forward, not backwards, and it must make sure that we continuously provide the current residents with service delivery and make sure that we can properly provide the new residents that same quality of service delivery for them.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. Before we move on to the next city, Mr. Bright could not be here tonight due to an emergency. If anybody happens to see him populate on the screen, please let me know so that I can include them in the round of questioning. For now, I do not see Mr. Bright, so we're going to move on to our Stone Mountain candidates. For mayor of Stone Mountain, in August, the city council voted to initiate removal proceedings targeting the mayor's office, exposing a deep and public conflict over the financial oversight and executive authority. This situation has raised serious concerns among residents about stability and transparency in our city's leadership. The question: as the person who will hold the mayor's office, what is your specific actionable plan to ensure a transparent and collaborative working relationship between the mayor and the city council, and what steps will you take to restore public trust in the leadership of Stone Mountain? Given the nature of this question, I'm going to give this one to Mayor Jones first.
Thank you so much for asking that question, because I certainly want the public to know the truth. And the truth is, once they see documentation, once they see the report that has been out, first and foremost, it is on video that our attorney had said that I've done nothing criminal. I put myself on the line for the city to do my job, what is listed in the charter. The charter does give me the opportunity, and the availability, the responsibility of taking care of the city. That is my sole responsibility. When I got a call for help, I answered the call. I was the only one on the signature page. And if there was someone else, they would have called two of us. I called to the need of the public. There were there were 4 employees on our signature card that had the authority, just by being on the card, to go into our banking system and withdraw. And that is what was presented to me. And it was just a simple step that I have done numerous times, adding people on, taking people off. And that's exactly what I did. And I proposed a question to the public: would you have rather I not went and taken people off our signature card who had been on there for 5 years after they had left the city, and give them total autonomy of our money? Or would you prefer that I sat back and turned my head to it? I had a call
Okay.
of duty, and I know my time is up.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Jones. Thank you, Mayor
Thank you
Jones.
so much.
Of course. Mr. Linder, what is your specific actionable plan to ensure a transparent and collaborative working relationship between the mayor and the city council, and what steps will you take to restore public trust in the leadership of Stone Mountain?
My style of leadership is focused on professionalism, transparency, and moving our city forward. I believe our residents deserve that kind of leadership, and it's the first step towards rebuilding trust. Our council meetings should be a safe space where the community, elected officials, and the city's administration can discuss the business of the city. For many residents, this is the only time they get to be informed about what's happening in their community. We need to respect their time by ensuring our meetings are civil, efficient, and timely. Beyond meetings, we also have to think about how our council functions as a whole. I believe the city should operate like a corporation. Members may not always agree. They might not always be able to get together, but they should be able to work together professionally for the good of the organization and for the people it serves. I will work closely with the city manager and my fellow council members to stabilize government operations. I will make transparency the standard so our taxpayers will always know what's happening and why. By restoring stability and professionalism, we can rebuild public trust and give the people confidence again in the city of Stone Mountain. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. We are now moving on to our Tucker candidates. Recent debates in Tucker have highlighted differing resident opinions on development and city amenities. How will you, as mayor, balance the desire for new services and growth with the concerns of residents about issues like noise, traffic, and neighborhood character? We will start with Ms. Williams this time.
Yes. Dealing with noise. First of all, we are residents of Tucker, business as well as residents. We all need to talk about what is the difference and what is the definition of noise. We need to get someone we need to figure out what noise and the definition of noise when it comes to a city, to a neighborhood, and to a business. We also have to review how we implement those types of programs. I don't want to cut people off. I don't want to have high beams. I don't want to spend that type of money. We need to do that strategically, meaning that we need to visit that area, determine if the noise is very loud, what is the businesses around, because remember, these businesses have been here before the city of Tucker. So before we became a city of Tucker, we had more homes and we had businesses, and the businesses was not that close to the resident area. Now we have encompassed most of those businesses closer to the homes, and we need to think about in the future not to put so many businesses close to residents' homes. My goal is to listen to the residents and the business owners and see what's viable for all of us. We must communicate with each other. We must be team players. We have to be fair to each other, and we have to be honest with each other when it comes to roles and responsibilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Lerner.
Well, this is just not a recent debate. I've been involved in Tucker with zonings and rezonings and balancing growth since Tucker Civic Association, North Lake Community Alliance, my time on DeKalb Planning Commission, and then City Council. But balancing growth with quality of life is really about listening, planning, and collaboration. First, we've got to ensure that residents have a real voice, not just through meetings, but surveys and ongoing neighborhood engagement. So concerns about traffic noise or changes to neighborhood character are heard from the start and can be addressed during the planning phase. I'm a public affairs director. I conduct public meetings across the state, communities across the state, and I'm going to bring that experience and best practices to enhance and expand our community engagement. We've got to be sure we have a consistent process, no matter the topic or project. We've also got to rely on smart data-driven planning. Every development needs to be reviewed for impact on streets, parking, infrastructure, while encouraging projects that will enhance amenities without overwhelming our neighborhoods. Third, we've got to foster dialogue between residents, developers, and city staff. It doesn't always have to be an us versus them. We've got to address all those concerns early and collaboratively. Tucker can grow. Tucker must grow or we will become extinct. We've got to attract new services. We've got to revitalize those commercial areas, but we can do that while protecting the character and livability of our neighborhoods.
Thank you, Ms. Lerner. Ms. Monfordini, what is your specific actionable plan to ensure a transparent and collaborative working relationship between the mayor and city council, and what steps will you take to restore public trust and leadership? Oh, excuse me, that's for Stone Mountain. Ms. Monfordini.
I've got it. It's okay.
You got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Balancing growth with neighborhoods character is one of the most important responsibilities of the Tucker mayor. My approach starts with listening. Every major development or amenity proposal should include early open community meetings where residents can weigh in before decisions are made. So it's projects of the people and not a decide and defend. I'll insist on responsible design standards, buffering neighborhoods from noise, requiring traffic studies, and ensuring new projects fit the scale and character of Tucker, the one that we all asked for. Growth is important, but it must start with smart growth. guided by community input, funded fairly, and designed to strengthen rather than disrupt our neighborhoods. That's how we preserve what Tucker makes special, what makes Tucker special, while we still provide the services and amenities residents all want. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. That concludes our pre-prepared questions that we had sent to you. We are now moving on to audience candidate questions. We selected those by polling the constituents, and these are questions that they themselves came up with. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to read the question, and then I will be calling on names to answer them. You will have 60 seconds. So the first question from an audience member: technology and governance. Artificial intelligence and new technologies are rapidly changing how governments can operate. What is your vision for leveraging technology to improve city services, and how would you address potential challenges like digital equity for all residents and data privacy? I will be starting with Mr. Linder first.
Technology is changing the way cities serve their residents, and the city of Stone Mountain should be taking full advantage of that. We've already made progress by using tools like See, Click, Fix to report issues, by posting our agendas and meeting minutes online so people can stay informed. We also use social media to keep our residents connected to what's happening in the city, but we can go further. I will look for grants and programs offered by the state and other organizations that can help improve access to technology. Not every resident has equal access, and we need to make sure everyone can benefit from the services the city provides. The goal is to use technology to make government more accessible, more transparent, and more responsive to the residents of the city of Stone Mountain.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. Mayor Jones, what is your vision for leveraging technology to improve city services, and how would you address potential challenges like digital equity for all residents and data privacy?
Well, I welcome technology. We live off technology. We grow off technology. And so I am definitely for AI. It can help us to be more productive in our office and our administrative staff. Also, it can help us in areas where at the split second, we can pick up a phone or a computer, put in the AI, and it can do some research for us, which help us to be more efficient. And so I think that it's more than a godsend to have it. But more importantly, it's a digital divide. And what that does for us, it helps us to be more employable. It helps us to find people who are have more experience. But I just think that it's a high-tech modern dictionary versus the high-speed internet. And I am welcoming our staff to use AI whenever possible.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. And Lerner, what is your vision for leveraging technology to improve city services, and how would you address potential challenges like digital equity for all residents and data privacy?
Well, I got to tell you, it offers a real opportunity to us to make our city services more efficient, accessible, and responsive. We've got to leverage tools, digital permitting, better online service request, and smart data dashboards so people can actually track all of the projects that are happening in our city from start to finish, making it very easy right at their fingertips. At the same time, I too worry, like everyone else, about digital equity. We got to ensure all of our residents, we've got a diverse group of residents, regardless of age, income, or location, can access these tools. That means we also have to maintain in-person support and phone support, offer digital literacy programs, and I'm proud to say the Tucker Rec Department is doing that for our seniors at Tucker Rec, and partnering with the libraries. We've got a great library here in Tucker, and our community centers to close that gap. Data privacy is critical. I know you asked about that too. We've got to follow best practices for cybersecurity and transparency. We've seen a lot of cities and counties have issues with that.
Mayor Lerner,
I'm sorry, my
excuse me,
time's
and
ended.
Lerner, you're out of time.
60 seconds is quick.
Noel Monfordini, what is your vision for leveraging technology to improve city services, and how would you address potential challenges like digital equity for all residents and data privacy?
Thank you. Traffic and safety, I think, is where I'd start first. So there are AI-powered tools that have analytics that can show your traffic flow. They can help optimize signals, reduce congestion. They can identify dangerous intersections before accidents. Community input, there's another spot, right? We have a lot of people in District 2 that I served when I was on council that they don't speak English. So we don't really have a way to communicate with them unless we go through the whole process of making sure that everything's on there. But AI can switch it in a second and we can communicate with them. They can communicate with us. We can do zoning, parks, development proposals, anything that we want can be on any language that we want. Accessibility. So I think that AI-driven translation services can ensure all residents have, regardless of language, an access to city information. So that's huge. And I think another question was digital literacy. So Tucker
Thank you, Ms.
Libraries.
Monfordini. You're out of
Oh,
time.
I'm so sorry. Thank
That's
you.
quite all right. Ms. Beverly Williams, what is your vision for leveraging technology to improve city services, and how would you address potential challenges like digital equity for all residents and data privacy?
I know I'm older than all of you. And yes, this is a good question for me. Artificial intelligence is a plus or minus to me as I'm aging. I have to be concerned about that because of the fact I know it's growing and I have to embrace that. But we have to put programs in place so it doesn't harm me as a homeowner, as an elderly person, because I'm over 65. And so we need to make sure we teach our residents to shut down their security systems. They need to review their computers. We do have to teach a class. Yes, I'm happy that Tucker is teaching those types of programs, but we have to go further than that because we have to teach the remaining of older people what does AI looks like. How do they impact you as far as your credit? How they impact with you concerning government, um, just a host of development. So as residents, we have to make sure we take pride in our privacy,
Ms.
and
Williams,
we
thank
as
you.
citizens.
We are out of time. Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
Mayor Burks, what is your vision for leveraging technology to improve city services, and how would you address potential challenges like digital equity for all residents and data privacy?
Thank you. Technology is changing how cities serve their residents. We've already secured $438,000 for our security grant, as well as using geofencing with our police department. But just yesterday, the council approved new software for permitting, inspections, licensing, and code enforcement to improve efficiency. But technology also requires equity. We learned that through COVID. And so I work with partners to expand digital literacy and access to make sure that our youth and our seniors have access to the internet, as well as understanding how to utilize it. Clarkston will lead with innovation, but never leave residents behind.
Thank you, Ms. Burks. We are moving on to the next question. Local sovereignty and state intervention. There is a concerning trend across the country where state governments are deploying the National Guard into cities, often cities with Black mayors and large minority populations, to take over public safety roles, sometimes against the express wishes of local elected leaders. This raises profound questions about local control and the militarization of our neighborhoods. The question I will be asking each of you, and I will not be repeating this question in the interest of time. The question is, as mayor, what is your specific plan to protect our city's autonomy, and how would you lead our community in response to such a directive from the state? We will start with Mr. Linder. Mr. Linder, you might be muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. In situations like this, the first step is to rely on our city attorney to give clear advice on what we can and cannot do. That ensures our community knows we're operating responsibly and within the law. We also want to partner with other cities and with DeKalb County so that we can take a united approach. Working together gives us the best chance to address these challenges right away and keep our residents protected.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. If anyone needs this question repeated, ask me when I call your name. Otherwise, we're just moving straight forward. Ms. Jones, Mayor Jones, your answer to this question.
I think that it's a travesty when people are being attacked for their race, color, or creed. And so I think that first and foremost, we have a fantastic police department. We make sure that they have the education, the knowledge, and the equipment that they need. And so I believe that we are trying to implement some training because these incidents are happening all over the United States. The Department of Justice have sent out warnings to African American mayors and asking them to be aware. But we need to protect the city. I am city first. Protecting the city is paramount. And so what we need to do again is make sure that we have our policing department on guard and know what to do and stay within the boundaries of the law when they are protecting the city. Equipment, education, and I think that with that and obeying the law, we can't go wrong by doing that.
Thank you, Mayor
so we're
Jones.
not just protecting
Thank you,
African
Mayor Jones. You're out
Americans.
of time. Noelle Monfordini, how would you answer this question?
Thank you. As mayor, I can't stop the governor from sending in forces if they declare an emergency. But what I can do, and I will do, is stand up for Tucker. I'll work with the council to pass a resolution opposing militarization, partner with other cities through the Georgia Municipal Association and DeKalb County, and make sure that the residents have a clear voice.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. Ms. Beverly Williams, how would you answer this question?
Well, Tucker does not judge. Tucker doesn't have that type of element as far as I know and I can see. What I would do is have a town hall meeting and discuss this with each and every neighborhood if this occurs. Yes, I will discuss with the attorneys in our footprint, but at the same time, I need to teach our residents how we need to engage if this occurs within our preview. So for instance, we do have mental health issues within our streets. We have homeless people, and sometimes they commit crimes. We need to protect them, and we need to have empathy for them. And we have to listen, but we also got to teach them as being a fellow veteran, teach and be a team. We'll be fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Mayor Burks, how would you respond to this question?
Thank you. Deploying the National Guard into local communities is not fiscally sound and undermines local leadership. Cities must have the power to govern themselves. And I'm already working with our legal counsel to review and do risk mitigation and strategies for our city. And as a member of the African American Mayors Association Immigration and Refugee Committee, I am collaborating on a national level with other mayors to develop strategies to protect our cities. And as the policy chair for the DeKalb Municipal Association, I am also updating our mayors on information as it relates to this so that we can collaboratively work together. That's the most important thing, is making sure that we as municipalities are allowed to govern ourselves.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. We are now moving on to our next question.
I don't, Robin,
were you
I
not
didn't
called?
get,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's okay.
Ms.
That's
Lerner,
fine.
how would you
Just
respond to this question?
Well, real quick, I think we've had excellent answers, and I agree with that partnership across our municipalities, the county, working together and being proactive and having a plan before it happens. Second, we're going to keep residents informed and engaged. We've got to use forums and clear communication so everyone understands what's really happening and why. And third, we've got to empower our local safety partners. We've got to include the DeKalb County Police Department and our community organizations to address public safeties in ways that are effective, equitable, and accountable. Tucker's neighborhoods need to be guided by local leaders and residents. not outside forces imposing their so-called solutions that could harm our community.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone that I missed out on this question? I just want to make sure I have it all kind of a shooting a moving target here. All right, moving on. Federal policy and community safety. Shifting federal immigration policies and high-profile enforcement actions are causing significant fear among residents and many communities. The question, which I will not repeat, so pay attention, as mayor, what are the clear boundaries you would establish between our city's police department and federal agencies like ICE? What concrete steps would you take to ensure all residents, regardless of their immigration status, feel safe accessing city services and trust local law enforcement? We will start with Mr. Linder.
In the city of Stone Mountain, every resident should feel safe accessing city services and working with our police, no matter their immigration status. Trust between residents and local government is essential for building strong community. The first step is to rely on our city attorney to clearly explain, again, our boundaries of what we can and what we cannot do. That way, our approach is responsible, legal, and transparent. I will work with our police chief to ensure our officers stay focused on protecting their community and not on federal immigration enforcement. We should look to partner with nearby cities, DeKalb County, so our response is consistent and coordinated across the region. This goal is to make every resident feel safe, know their voices matter, and trust that the city of Stone Mountain is here to protect everyone in our community.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. We are moving on. Beverly Jones, your answer to this, excuse me, Mayor Jones, what is your answer to this question?
I think that it's very important that every citizen in every city has a good quality of life, work, play, and I would solely depend on, again, our police department, depend on our attorneys, depend on the federal government in terms of information and legalities. We don't want anyone in the city of Stone Mountain to walk around, no matter what race or ethnicity that they are, feeling unsafe, and that any moment in time that they would be separated from their families. So we are going to implement more training for our officers in this category of protection. And so also educate our staff, but more importantly, make sure that our citizens are aware of what is going on, because some citizens are still totally oblivious to what's going on in our country right now. But we want to educate, and we want to empower.
Thank you, Mayor
and we want to
Jones.
protect. Thank you.
Ann Lerner, your answer to this question.
You know, we've got to make sure that Tucker remains a welcoming and safe city for all of our residents. You know, we rely on DeKalb County Police Department, so we got to work closely with them and county leadership to establish those clear boundaries and ensuring that our law enforcement focuses on public safety for all. We've got to implement policies that protect our residents' access to city services, and we've got to have clear communication, community outreach and partnerships with a lot of our local nonprofits and faith communities that are going to help our residents understand their rights and available resources. Not just posting that stuff on social media like I saw before. You've got to get in that community. You've got to share it with them, share it in their own language, and work with their neighbors to share that message as well, because trust may be there with them, more with us. But we've got to foster that trust and transparency and engagement. We've got to make sure that they know their concerns are heard and that we respect them, we value them, and we want them to be in Tucker without fear.
Thank you, Ms. Lerner. Ms. Monfordini, your answer to this question.
Thank you. Everyone in Tucker should feel safe. While I can't do anything to help personally, but as a mayor, we can support our residents in practical ways. We can offer legal support and navigation and partners with nonprofits like New American Pathways or CPAS, or the International Rescue Committee in DeKalb. We can help them provide low cost or free legal clinics We can offer city-supported Know Your Rights workshops so families understand their options.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini. Ms. Williams.
I trust Lorraine Cochran as far as DeKalb County because she is the CEO of all of us in the umbrella. That would be a conversation I will have with her so she can assist us in how we need to govern our residents. Two, for the people who don't have their green card or whatever the case may be, we have immigration down the street. We need to go ahead and start this process to assist these young men and women to get them at least in the system or start the paperwork. We need to also go to these different churches and we need to have a true conversation with them. And they need to know what their rights are. And we need to go to their churches. We don't need to have an open forum. We need to physically go and talk to them one-on-one so they know that we're transparent. We know they're fearful. We need to make sure that they can trust us in any level when this situation arises, which I hope it never will.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Williams. Mayor Burks, your answer to this question, please.
Thank you. In Clarkston, residents must feel safe accessing services regardless of immigration status. And I've worked closely with the resettlement agencies, nonprofits, and community leaders to make sure families know their rights, have family safety plans, and understand that the city supports them in all languages that we have, more than 70, so we have that covered. Clarkston is a compassionate city, and I'm committed to keep it that way. I'm also, as DMA chair, policy chair, I'm working with the president of the DeKalb Police Departments to figure out in terms of what and how can we engage and leverage other departments and understand what the police as chiefs as a whole have as a strategy. It's important because no family should ever live in fear of calling 911, reporting a crime, or seeking city services.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. Before I move on to the next question, I need to ask the organizers. The next question is on focusing on the unhoused. We're a little behind time. Would you like for me to ask that question or should we move on to closing statements?
Closing statements.
Thank you very much.
Go to your call.
That concludes the questions. Congratulations, everyone, for answering so well and eloquently. We are going to move on now to closing statements. Candidates have 90 seconds for closing statements. We are going to start with Mr. Linder.
You better probably after your call.
Stone Mountain Village has everything it needs to thrive. Our rich history, resilient residents, and a location at the heart of Georgia's most iconic landmark. What we need now is leadership that brings stability, unites our community around a shared vision, and builds an economy that works for the future. For nearly 20 years, I've invested in this community as a planner, as a business owner, and as a nonprofit leader. Now I'm asking for your trust to serve as mayor. Together, we can restore pride, integrity, and opportunity to Stone Mountain Village. Because when you believe in Stone Mountain Village, you believe in each other, and I believe in SMB.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. Next, Mayor Jones.
I believe in the city of Stone Mountain, not just the village, but each and every community in our 3-mile radius, because everyone is important. And that is why we are mayors, to protect and to serve. And one of the things that I would like to certainly say is that one of the things that Stone Mountain is in lack of, and that's more businesses. And that's a major focus of mine, bringing in businesses that will stay there. People love the city. It's a friendly city, and we're close to the park, so they feel like they get a twofer when they come to the city. They can roll on over to the park and vice versa. And so we want to capitalize on all of the businesses that we have in the city to make them more prosperous. I want to capitalize on the 1 million cars that go through the city of Stone Mountain. We want them to be inspired in what they see. But more importantly, we want to grow our town, not in just one community, but all of the communities that we have there. And we will prosper as we have been doing for the last 20 years, going up, up, up in mobility, up in personalities, up in administration. Our town has grown in the last 4 years in leaps and bounds, and we want to continue that growth spurt.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. And Lerner, your closing statement.
Thank you for this opportunity tonight, Robin. You did a great job moderating. Thank you. I want to be Tucker's next mayor because I believe in Tucker. I believe in our people. I believe in our neighborhoods, and I believe in our future. We talked about some tough questions tonight, important topics, but it was a very short period of time. And if you'd like to continue that conversation, please reach out to me. My website is annlerner.com. You know I'm ready. We'll be meeting for coffee at Corner Cup tomorrow. The role of mayor requires experience, relationships, and a proven track record of results. Someone said I've been training for this for 28 years, not even knowing we would become a city or this opportunity would arise. I'm ready day one to work for Tucker, building on our strengths while addressing our challenges. I love Tucker, and you know that. And with your support, we can continue to move Tucker forward together. And I would be honored to earn your vote November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lerner. Ms. Monfordini, your closing statement.
Thank you. Tucker's greatest strength is its people. When we work together, we respect with openness. We build a city that's not just functional, but connected, vibrant, and resilient. Let's continue to build Tucker together. Just like if you'd like to know more about me, it's noelmonfordini.com. I would love to meet you. Coffee or anything you would like to do. We can have, if you'd like a sign or anything else, I'm here for you. Thank you so much, everyone in DeKalb Democrats and all of the other candidates. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monfordini.
You still have 60 seconds.
Ms. Williams, can I get your closing statement, please?
Yes. To the Tucker residents and the business owners, you've seen me talk to you, come to your businesses as well as your homes. So you know I've been doing this for the last couple of years. I would like to be your mayor. But my priorities is to first listen, your voice to guide you for the future, open communications, regular meetings with my residents and business owners to listen and act together, protect the neighborhood, support single-family homes, townhomes, and a balanced growth and limited overdevelopment. Invest in the youth, strengthen your schools, Boy Scouts, sports activity, community programs is the next generation. Honor Tucker roots, preserve our small businesses and traditions that built thriving communities as Tucker. Shape a better future. Update the comprehension plan to reflect the needs and the values of all Tucker families. Leadership for all Tucker, not just part of Tucker. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Mayor Burks, can I please get your closing statement?
Well, thank you, Robin. First, let me thank the DeKalb Dems for hosting our first candidates forum. We really appreciate it, and it's a great opportunity for us to get together all the candidates. I want to mention Clarkston is proof that a medium city can lead with big ideas. Over the last 4 years, I've secured millions in federal and state funding, expanded affordable housing options, revitalized infrastructure, and celebrated our diversity through award-winning projects and community programs. I've led with inclusion and, most importantly, with results. Tonight, as mayor, the international mayor, I'm asking Clarkston for your vote, not just to continue this progress, but to keep building a Clarkston where every resident, every business, and every child has the opportunity to thrive. We can make Clarkston stronger, safer, and more united than ever. So if you want to be part of the journey, go to www.reelectmayorburks.org. Make sure that we can connect, get a sign, as you see behind me. But more importantly, let's make Clarkston a great place together. And again, thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mayor Burks. That concludes this portion. If you will please indulge me, I've got about 60 seconds to just riff about whatever I want. I want everyone to unmute their mics and clap for one another because you all did so great. You did. Honestly, I am so proud of you. Clap at home, clap at home. I am so proud of you all. I've done this before as a mayoral candidate myself. This is tough for the people watching at home. Some of these people have never run for office before. This shows the quality of candidates that we have here in DeKalb County. I am so proud of each and every one of you. You took a lot of time. It was very obvious to prepare these remarks and really think about these questions. I'm just beaming with pride. With that, I'm going to hand it off to Brandy Wyke.
Excellent. I completely concur. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for your wonderful answers. I know constituents in your cities are very much proud of the folks that they have running for office. So thank you for that. I also want to say thank you again to Robin Byro for being our moderator this evening and doing such a wonderful job, as well as our tech team and our special events team and leader Hillary Lind as well. For the audience, I just want to make you all aware of one thing. City council meetings are a vital part of your local governance and are open to the public. So we encourage you all to attend your local meetings to stay informed and make your voices heard. You can find schedules, agendas, and information on how to participate in your city's official website. So please take a look in the chat. You're going to see links to the city websites for Tucker, Clarkston, and Stone Mountain. All right, and lastly, I am going to pass it back to our special events chair, Hillary Lind, to wrap us up for this evening.
Thank you so much, Brandy. Thanks to all the candidates and our army of volunteers who put this evening together. On behalf of our team, thank you to everyone who participated in the audience and provided questions for us to ask this evening. An event like this requires the army of volunteers, and I want to personally thank each of you. A huge thank you to our moderator, Robin, our DeKalb Dems chair, Brandy, and vice chair, Larry, and our incredible production team, our Zoom operator, Amy, our technical support, Dr. Bola, and our timekeeper, Leona Perry. We are deeply grateful to Karen Davenport and her behind the scenes support. To Steve Parker, our past special events chair, your guidance has been invaluable. I also want to extend a special thank you to Gloria Moore. Gloria's strategic guidance was absolutely essential in bringing tonight's forum to life. While we are volunteers who present events like this to inform our citizens, we do have expenses and we ask for your financial support. Please consider a small amount or a monthly reoccurring donation to power Democrats win here in DeKalb. Now, please check your voter registration to make sure it is up to date and make note of these important voting dates coming up in the municipal election. The deadline to register to vote is Monday, October 6th. Early voting is from October 14th through October 31st. Election day is November 4th. If a runoff does occur, that will take place on Tuesday, December 2nd. A recording of this forum is available for viewing and sharing on our YouTube channel, as well as a webinar recently presented on why local elections matter. These are in the chat. Please visit DeKalbDems.com to discover ways to engage in activities right here in DeKalb. We are building our communities, and we encourage each one of you to attend local events and calls to actions that affect your neighbors. Finally, it was a pleasure for DeKalb Dems to present this information to you tonight. We wish each and every candidate a successful campaign. Thanks for joining us, and we wish you a great evening. Good night.